no good deed goes unpunished. The Derby Mercury, Saturday, January 4th, 1738. We have a story out of Faversham, England, that took place in the month prior, on December 25th. A barbarous murder was lately committed on Jane Plain by Stephen Diaper, one of the most stupid villains that ever was formed with human shape, of which the story is as follows. Mr. Bunce of Offspring near Faversham gives annually every St. Thomas's Day a certain measure of wheat to every poor woman that comes and asks for the same. Amongst the number was Jane Plain, a poor widow of unblemished character, aged between 60 and 70 years, who was ordered by Mr. Bunce to have the measure. The villain, who was ordered to measure the corn, took it into his head that this poor creature was a witch, and bethought himself of a stratagem which he had heard to know them by. This was, that no witch had power to receive more than measure, which proved to be the death of this innocent creature. For her modesty was so great that she told him, at seeing heap measure, his master did not allow of it, neither did she desire more than he was willing to give. This, and this only, urged on her fate. For she no sooner refused, but he drew his knife and stabbed her, as I'm informed, in above 40 places. Mr. Bunce was in the room at the same time, with a child in his arms, and 2 others by his side, not knowing where the villain would stop. His first care was to secure the children, then calling 3 other of his servants, went and seized the ruffian, who gloried in the action. So this event happens in 1738, 2 years after the repealing of laws against prosecuting witches or witchcraft, which eventually leads to the death sentence for Mr. Diaper here, which of course is obviously very unfortunate, because any woman of the time who makes it past the age of 40 is a witch. I mean, really, his only crime was probably not double checking. I mean, throwing her in a river, and if she floats in the slightest, I mean, now you're just dotting your T's and crossing your I's. That's probably his only crime here. There are some other ways for knowing a witch that, off the top of my head, adult human females will not outweigh the word of the Lord. So if you have a Bible and you take an adult human female, if she's a witch, you're obviously, going to outweigh that thing. But a pure-hearted woman, of course, is not going to outweigh a book, yay big? Something like that. Another couple of ocular pat-down indicators. Is she ugly? I mean, hey, that's one there. Does she have any warts on her face? Does she have pets? Right? A big one is disagreeableness, which I'm sure this woman was, especially when she was getting stabbed. I'm sure she was very disagreeable, which probably only reinforced his belief that Miss Jane Plain was a witch. So these acts that got passed in 1736, if I may read to you here, which one is this? 4 of this, that there is no such thing as a witch in the scripture, and that there is no such thing as a witch at all. This was written, published in a paper as they were trying to pass this in 1735, again, eventually in 1736. They don't know what they're talking about here, clearly. And unfortunately, these laws still stand today. But it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed, and take it easy.